Hello, this is Ruth Ann, making another video here for my YouTube channel. The category of this video is going to be spicy Oriental or just spicy fragrances. They're not all categorized officially as Orientals, but most of them are, of course. So first up, I'm going to start with Tabu, which is kind of the mother of all, or the queenship, the mothership of all spicy Oriental fragrances. Of course, this came out in 1932, manufactured by Dana. It is a Oriental floral that is very warm, spicy, with a lot of amber notes. It's very sparkling and vibrant is how I experience it. Oftentimes people will say it smells like sarsaparilla or root beer. That's not really a sense that I get, but many do. And the beautiful thing about it is it's vintage, but it doesn't smell vintage. Like my daughters who are in their 20s love this fragrance. It lasts about 6 to 8 hours. It projects like a beast, and it's very inexpensive. And boy, you just can't go wrong with Tabu. But beware, it is very strong, so it has to be worn with some caution. Next up, I have Anne Klein. This is Anne Klein II. Of course, Anne Klein being they make clothing and bags. This one came out in 1985, and it's often described as a powdery Tabu. It's very ambery, warm, spicy, and woody. I experience it more as an earthy musk with some aromatic notes. I would describe it as being very smooth. It's very long-lasting. It is sometimes compared to Shalimar. Now, I'm not a big fan of Shalimar. Shalimar on me smells like bug spray. But boy, I do love Anne Klein too. Like I said, it's very smooth. It's a lot like Tabu. Tabu is kind of like a up in your nose, almost stings your nose a little bit. It's so spicy. Where Anne Klein is smooth and a little powdery, but not super vintage to my nose. Next, I have Samsara, the Samsara by Guerlain that we all know and love. This is in the older bottle. This is an EDP. Beautiful scent. It came out in 1989, and it is a powdery, woody, vanillic scent. It is an Oriental woody categorized fragrance. The strongest and most, the star of the show here is sandalwood. And it's very softly spicy. So whereas Tabu and Anne Klein are more in-your-face spicy, Samsara is more subdued in that way. It does last 8 to 10 hours. It's an extremely sophisticated and very expensive smelling fragrance, and it's absolutely gorgeous classic. Next, I have, this is Musc de Cartier. This one came out in 1981. This is by the manufacturer Cartier. You can see there, you can see the title of it there. This is often compared to Obsession, and I don't even own Obsession. I don't care for Obsession. To me, it smells very cheap, whereas Musc de Cartier smells like Obsession should smell. It's a very expensive smelling, very smooth, very beautiful Oriental woody fragrance. It's slightly powdery, very aromatic. It has galbanum as one of the top notes, but it's a very smooth galbanum, where we know oftentimes that leads to a very vintage quality to a fragrance. This one does not impart that. It also has Brazilian rosewood, leather, vetiver, and musk. It lasts a good 6 to 7 hours. Very, very beautiful, and I highly recommend giving it a try. You can get it for $40 on eBay. Next up, I have a flanker to Musc de Cartier, and this one is called Musc de Cartier Gold. You can see that on the lid. This one is a kind of like a newer, modern, updated version of Musc de Cartier, but you can definitely tell that the gold version is a flanker because the two fragrances are very similar. If you like one, you will like the other. I guarantee it. The gold version came out in 2015. It is classified as an Oriental floral. It has galbanum also in the top notes, but I would say the Musc de Cartier is slightly bitter on first spray. But if you wait just a minute or two, that will calm down and you'll get these warm green notes, osmanthus, jasmine, and vanilla. It's a little more vanillic than the original. It's softer, smells very expensive. It probably costs, I think, about $80 or $90 is what I paid for this. Lasts about 5 to 6 hours, and it's beautiful. It's my scent of the day, and I'm in the dry down right now. It's a very warm, buttery, smooth Oriental. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. All right, this one is Diamonds and Rubies by Elizabeth Taylor. And this is in my top 5 all-time favorite fragrances. This came out in 1993. It is an Oriental floral, and the nose perfumer on this is Sophia Grosjean, who is my absolute favorite perfumer. She's never let me down, and this is no exception. Diamonds and Rubies starts out with a red rose with peach notes, and it dries down to a spicy musk base. Slightly powdery, slightly floral, but it's primarily a warm, spicy peach. It works best in the winter. It lasts about 6 to 7 hours, and it is just a very high quality, long-lasting cheapie. You can get this easily for under $20, and it's one of the great loves of my life. Next up, I have the sister to Diamonds and Rubies. This is Diamonds and Sapphires. You can see that here. This is also by Elizabeth Taylor. By the way, she did have very direct input on these fragrances, the ones that were released before her death, of course. She was very much involved in their development, and they're beautiful. She did a great job. Also came out in 1983. This is classified as a white floral fruity, but it has a very woody vetiver musk base that is slightly spicy. Of all these fragrances, the Diamonds and Sapphires is the least spicy, but it is spicy nonetheless, and that's definitely how I experience it. Beautiful, lasts a good 6 to 7 hours, also very inexpensive. Next, I have Mariah Carey M. This is a very modern celebrity fragrance that's well known to the perfume lover community. Came out in 2007. This is an Oriental floral with top notes of marshmallow and sea salt. Really comes on as a brown toasted marshmallow, in my opinion. I grew up toasting marshmallows, and you really do get that. It's definitely not marshmallows out of the bag, however. It's definitely the toasted, kind of almost burned. There's a real strong incense, amber, and patchouli base. It's a very smooth, very sweet, very spicy fragrance. Lasts about 6 to 7 hours. It's a very unique, beautiful celebrity fragrance that lasts. So therefore it's inexpensive, and it's just absolutely beautiful. One of my favorites. And I have 1 or 2 backup bottles. That's how much I love it. Next up, I have a very polarizing fragrance. This one is Jessica Simpson's Fancy Nights. I think more people dislike this than like it. However, I really do enjoy it. It's a very old school kind of chypre fragrance for being a 2010 release. It's a chypre floral. It smells very oriental. Top notes are papyrus and bergamot, and dries down to a patchouli, amber, and oak moss. And I think the offending agent here that everyone dislikes is the oak moss. It's got a very old school chypre oak moss base, and it's very pronounced, and it's very strong. You have to be very careful spraying this. I never put on more than 2 sprays. The whole room will smell. It's patchouli, strong. It kind of has a chocolatey dry down. I get a whiff of that every now and then, kind of a woody, warm, chocolatey scent that I just absolutely love, and not a safe blind buy, however, but you can get it cheap. I don't think I even paid $10 for this, and so if you like spicy Orientals, I think it's worth a try, especially if you like unique old school fragrances. The last fragrance I have for you today is Molinard Musk. This is the EDP. I want to see the name, Molinard Musk. This is a very unique fragrance. It's a woody floral, released in 2015. It does have spicy notes of patchouli in the base. I experience it as spicy. It's probably a little smoother than a lot of these other fragrances, however. It has notes of amber, vanilla, musk, and benzoin. In the dry down, I really get a sense of kind of cherry, although there are no cherry notes in this, cherry incense. It smells very much hippie-like Nag Champa, like the kind of incense you smell in a head shop. And it's beautiful. It's very unique, lasts all day. I have worn it and smelled it the next day, and even on my clothes the next day, and I even had a scarf I sprayed it on, and after I washed it, I could still smell it. So beautiful if you like that kind of scent. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have other spicy Oriental type fragrances that I miss here, please include those. Let me know what they are in the comments, because I'm always looking for new scents in this genre. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.